Fraser Riley, good to have you, Fraser.
Brilliant to be here. I'm really looking forward to this match.
Likewise, I think we all are. The table tennis world unites.
Red or blue? Blue. Red. Red. Receive. You want the straight side?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, so far everybody's choosing the opposite side that they chose yesterday, where there seemed to be a clear advantage. Could just be my memory. It's not getting any sharper. TIMO BOLL, Borussia Düsseldorf, has been so thrilled to have him over the years. Anton Kallberg, 26 years old. You'll hear me pronouncing his name differently nearly every broadcast because I'm getting closer to it. But I'm working on my Swedish. Interestingly enough, many different players playing out of Borussia Düsseldorf over the years. And 43 years old, world rank number 43, a match. Fraser, talk to me about TIMO BOLL a bit.
He just blurs the lines, TIMO BOLL. Quite a unique silhouette with his technique, but what a special player. Ma Long himself, who has played the World Championships with in men's doubles, has said he's the most talented player he's ever seen.
Quite a compliment coming from the GOAT. Speaking of the GOAT, we got prize money that is the greatest of all time. Well, it's right up there anyway. 1.5 million in prize money, 2,000 points for the champion in world ranking points, and the best equipment with the new Yinhe ball. Don't see that too often, so welcome Yinhe. Well, fan vote, my goodness, TIMO BOLL has captured the hearts of fans, no doubt about it. 83%, that's 5/6, just shy of 5/6 of the fans. You can cast your vote. Love that technique. Speaking of fans, I'm a fan of Jorgen Persson, JP, world champion of 1991, over the Mozart of table tennis, Jan-Ove Waldner. Still many, a little bit of eyebrow raises there. Lars Ilshire there with a good beard, recognizing that he's on camera. Got a Louis C.K. vibe, if I'm sure I'm not the only one who's thought that. He actually has been called one of the lead members of Metallica by myself accidentally. A little fun fact, called him Lars Ulrich.
What did you think to that?
I don't know, that's a good question. He's a cool guy, super humble, super easygoing. So this is only the second time the teammates have played. And Anton Kallberg, in incredible form in recent years, playing in the German Bundesliga. So it's a best of 5.
First
TIMO BOLL to start it off.
Both serve, love, all.
Bottle challenge and the quick follow-up. You got something interesting over there, Fraser?
100%. I mean, what a matchup this is. It's funny, isn't it? Because everyone was saying TIMO BOLL might just be on his way out until a very, very recent event this season.
Does that involve Tomokazu Harimoto?
It absolutely does. What a serve.
1, 2.
And an acknowledgement of fortune. It seemed that it got away from him. That must have been the intention, more or less, this bottle challenge serve. But it came up a bit high and came right down at the baseline. Not so common to see TIMO that surprised by a serve.
But yeah, at that contender Doha that he won from 3-2 down, 9-5 down, he beat Lin Wenru, Tomokazu Harimoto, and Zhang Wujing.
4.
Now those are 3 players that have taken some Chinese opponents down over the years, and the two, Lin Wenru and Tomokazu, arguably the 2 greatest threats to Team China in the men's game. Looking fluid right now.
Moving wonderfully, isn't it?
This is a guy, you said many say. I feel like if we're looking at YouTube comments, which I know you and I both do, they're not doctors that know his physical condition.
It's true.
These are not people that are checking TIMO out in training day after day. They're just people that see he has one down day, he's a little injured here and there.
2.
People have been saying he's on his way out for years and years and years.
Yeah, that's true. They have been.
Ooh, that fanning crossover forehand. We've seen him do that famously against Liang Jingquin to make the highlights top 10 of that year. What?
He tried it with the backhand, did he?
the way he finished, it looked like it from that camera angle. That's one I'd love to see again on a towel break.
Nice flick from Anton Kalberg. He's a very, very good player, isn't he, when he's in position? I mean, the shots that he can do, immense quality on them.
He's getting faster, his backhand's stronger. He stays near the table for a tall guy. Perfect placement from TIMO. Deep into the backhand, jamming up Kalberg.
It's very, very powerful, TIMO BOLL, don't get me wrong, but you do feel like you get a bit more time against him than others, but it's security, it's the rotation that he puts on the ball.
Right, it's constantly changing. He knows how to make you uncomfortable. He can slow it down and still cause problems. In terms of speed, I asked TIMO years ago, I think he must have been about 37 years old. He said, yeah, well, you know, 24, 25, I was physically fit. What can I say?
That's a good impression. That's a very good impression.
Thanks. But he was faster then, but he's smarter now.
8-4.
You can make up for it in different ways. TIMO, I know we talked about they. Who are they? The people that comment, it's anyone will say that, even about 18-year-olds when they lose matches. This person's on their way down. But yeah, if you're in your mid-30s, TIMO, again, has taken down the biggest names in the game. In his late 30s, was beating Team China, beat Ma Long, beat Lin Gaoyuan in the same event.
World Cup finalist 2017, only losing to his teammate Dima, but he cleared the way, didn't he, of all the Chinese players?
That's exactly what he did. I think that's why he won the ITTF Star Award for Male Player that year, after beating the two Chinese players. Also, just general fandom. People have loved TIMO for a long time. When he was young, apparently, he told me he was quite hot-headed. You can find videos, but he's been such an exemplary sportsman over the years. Just as grateful, as kind, as easygoing as you can imagine. 5 serving 9 here. Ooh.
5-9.
That look, oh man. Anton Kalberg is saying, I wouldn't be surprised if TIMO puts this into the net intentionally. I don't know.
5-9.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable. Neither of the players saw it. Let's service. Oh.
6-9.
That will be one that the fans will discuss online. What is intentional and what is not? He returned the first one. I thought he might have been trying to hit the first one into the net and accidentally made it.
Imagine being that good, you accidentally make shots.
It's tough. 4 game points, TIMO Magic Bowl. Again, we were just talking about his sportsmanship, and he puts the ball into the net. For me, that's what it was. That was sportsmanship. Perfect placement into the crossover. Kalberg. Nice placement.
Indeed. The way he penetrates. I think he's got more of a direct forehand than TIMO BOLL, but TIMO BOLL's going to be very, very misleading. 3 game points remaining.
Backhands for days. TIMO behind the table spins it up with awkward side and topspin. A beautiful finish for the Magic Man. Block there. On his heels for a moment and springs forward. So much wrist on that backhand. So TIMO, with a man who is not a member of Metallica, Lars Hilshire, former German national team player and now the coach. 11-7, TIMO takes the first against Anton Kalberg. On table number 2, the silent assassin, Lin Ru, shuts down the Spanish stallion here. Alvaro Robles is not easy to get through. He's good from anywhere on the court. But Lin Ru is smooth as they come. Fans all around the world, other pros watch him play, men and women, and say, I wish I had Lin Ru's game. He'll play Ovidio Ionescu in the round of 16, who you saw in the audience. He'll be playing mixed doubles with Bernie Such. Not so many still have 2 events left here at the Singapore Smash, not outside of China and maybe Japan. It's a little clean of the table here, both with their shower towels. Something sort of therapeutic about that quiet table clean there.
Second game. Hubert serve. Love all.
Anything you expect, Fraser? Anything different from Anton here?
I think he's going to go for wider serves here. I think if he can open up the table as soon as possible, that might make it easier for himself. Didn't do it there, but we'll see.
Right.
That was just a thought.
I like thoughts. Happy to hear yours.
What would the world be without him?
I would quote you, but it'd be taken out of context. All right. Inside the table, Timo, this is the thing him and Ma Long both do incredibly well. Is play the ball inside the baseline. Steal attacks, but there you go. It's what you called for. Wider angles early in the rally.
Yeah, I mean, Timo's quick, don't get me wrong, but I feel if Anton can get him wide, stands the best chance.
Wide forehand against a lefty. Can often be effective, but a handcuffing serve here from Timo.
You really have to be able to play the parallels well, don't you, against a player like TIMO BOLL? And the fact that he's a lefty as well makes him all the more difficult to play.
Wide angle again, and it's a wide forehand.
A nice clarity of mind there from Anton Kallberg. Actually invited that shot of TIMO BOLL, I feel there. Good set piece. But then just comes up the back of that one a little bit too much.
So a 2-point lead here for TIMO Magic Bowl. One of a few players, interestingly, Zhuang Zhiyuan of the Chinese Taipei team will turn 43 in early April. TIMO early March, International Women's Day, the 8th. Loving these rallies, and Timo constantly changing, saying, I don't have to try and overpower you. I'll just spin it deep and with placement.
There was a backhand in this rally that helped TIMO BOLL stay in it. I'm not sure how he did it. Having to really flick through the fingers when you're not fully behind it with those backhands.
I'd love to help you understand how he did it, but he's TIMO Magic Bowl for a reason. The world will wonder. They will want to know, how did someone create his own style? You can find videos on YouTube of him from when he was 4 years old. It's incredible, the progression.
3-6.
Bit of frustration there as Anton Kallberg had a good opportunity, earned himself a good opportunity, so you can understand the head shakes out here.
Didn't feature at the last edition of this event, TIMO BOLL. His return to the WTT stage was in Lanzhou. His first event in 12 months on that scene. And Anton Kallberg lost in the first round to Fan Zhendong 3-0.
Last year here.
7-4.
Interesting, the defending back-to-back champion who will not be able to create a three-peat because of the news I woke up to this afternoon of Lin Shidong eliminating the back-to-back champion, the world number 1.
Amazing, amazing result.
So Timo up with a 4-point lead. Yeah, there's a lot to go back and check out on WTT's social media platforms and everything else. I saw it on Instagram, Lin Shidong's finishing shot. My goodness. They call him Xiao Xiao Pang, meaning little fatty. He is the little Fan Zhendong.
That's right. The lion cub, if you think of whoever wins this being the king of the jungle. We can loop around nicely because Lin Shidong plays the winner of this match.
Ooh. Talk about firepower. Lin Shidong is a shot maker. Next service.
5-8.
It's funny, these are both friends and people that I love to see succeed. I think Anton Kallberg has been playing so well in recent years. With his win over Liang Jingquin relatively recently, I asked him if he had beaten the best wins of his career. He'd forgotten about Yan'an.
9.
I said, which top Chinese players again? I said, you beat Liang Jingqun recently. He's like, that's it. I said, what about Yanan? He goes, oh, that was so long ago.
Still counts.
Yeah, it does.
Of course
Yanan
it
was
does.
one of the top 6 for China or so at the time.
One of the most similar styles to Ma Long that we've seen.
7, 9.
The reason I say that is I got ahead of myself when you said Lin Shidong plays the winner here, because I'm thinking to myself, how would he do against TIMO? It's a battle of a few generations by separation. And we're talking about one of the hardest hitters in the game, who's quite young, versus someone with more feeling and magic than almost anyone. And tested on the wide forehand. Kallberg right back. He was down 4-8 at the towel break, and it's a 1-point game now. Takes many shots to get TIMO uncomfortable.
Started off with a parallel, but nice use of side spin there. A lot of bodywork going into producing a slower shot.
Oh, punished. TIMO's receive was good, but Anton was a step ahead. Got there quickly. Countered back. Keep your eyes on Anton for this. Barely any racket drop before that forehand. Keeps it really high. And now 6 of the last 8 points, Anton Kallberg has won. I want to learn Swedish. Just want to be fluent in Swedish. 9 points apiece now. Deep on the table, TIMO sets up a game point.
It was shallow, it was slow, but it was so spinny, and with all that arc, tough to tell when and where you should exactly meet the ball.
You're talking about the shot before the finisher, the shallow one? Here we go, game point TIMO. Shallow one here as well, slow and spinny, the break of rhythm. And you could settle into it if he didn't have the fast weaponry to keep you guessing at all times. But that's what versatility does. Coming to the table prepared, 43-year-old TIMO Magic Bowl with a 2-0 lead over Anton Kallberg, 11-7, 11-9. And we'll see what happens. But in these best of fives, things can turn quickly.
Third game, balls to serve, level.
Players back for game number 3, and right now it's an uphill battle for Anton Kallberg of Sweden. TIMO to start it off with the serves.
Net, love, all. Love, 1.
So then, 3 must-win games if Anton Kallberg wants to live to see another day here at the Singapore Smash. Just the one needed for TIMO Boll. We've seen him make some miraculous comebacks, and not many be able to do that against him.
Yeah, it's a good point. You brought up Tomo down 2 games to 3, 5 points to 9, still coming back to win, to add to his collection of superstars he beat along the way.
1, 2.
I'm trying to think, other than the Lin Gaoyuan one in 2017 in Liège, the Men's World Cup, which was watched by millions online. Any other comebacks come to mind for you for TIMO where you're like, that was crazy?
They're the 2 main ones. I'd have to have a bit more of a think about it.
Sure.
2.
Good pressure here. Kallberg on top of the bounce. Oh, this
2,
receive.
3.
Timo's body language, I almost thought that maybe there was a let or something. Keep your eyes on Timo. Had barely even come down. Found it with his eyes. Timo's got fighter pilot reaction time.
It's almost like he knew the serve wasn't quite as he intended it, and it was almost guaranteed to be over.
Just to make sure that doesn't get buried, though, you're right. I wasn't saying that to be hyperbolic. Actually, he tested. Germany did a TV show with him, and they tested his reaction time against a gamer. And I talked to Timo about the fighter pilot thing. Pretty interesting. There are a lot of Timo stories. I think Table Tennis Review is one of my favorites, though. Good placement on this. Table Tennis Review, for those of you that follow tennis at all, the Hawkeye or Shot Spot, where you can call, as a timeout is called. They started Table Tennis Review, where you could call to see a replay of the shot in 2019 in China. And I'll tell you what happened. I'll keep you in suspense for the towel break with Timo, but it's pretty fascinating. Coming up next, we've got the Olympic champion, Chun Meng, with the coolest jersey. You can actually buy that here in the swag shop inside the Singapore Smash venue. And Jun Ji-hee, originally from China, has been a leader for Korea for quite some time. One of the last few players to beat Chun Meng outside of China, for that matter. That match is coming up after this. Should be good.
Är du inte snabbt där den sista mitten också rätt och spela enkelt kanske gå ner i bäcken istället då. Alltså att lite mer marginal. Okej? Du inte bara in och lita på leden, snabbt i tanken, men våga spela om bollen framförallt. Okej? Kommer du blocken, håll in också. Kör vi!
Funny, talked to Anton a little bit before this match and did an impression of Jorgen Persson, who's coaching there, the 91 world champion, multiple-time world team champion over China, 1989, 1993, but also 91 world champs, just not over China that year. Anyway, he told me how to talk like Jorgen Persson.
It seemed like a mixture of Italian and something else.
That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. He said, just throw in a few yas.
It's very flamboyant speaker, and that is a fluorescent backhand.
Bright and shining as it is, right off the bounce. Yeah, that's what you have to do, yeah. Play the ball, stay near the table. Yeah. Timo keeps it alive for one, but doesn't get passive for long. One defensive shot, and then tries to punch right back. And look who's in the lead now. 2 straight out of the timeout for Anton Kallberg. Oh, the angles that he's finding, the quality in these shots. There's no question about it. Despite the first 2 games here, the way Timo's finished, anyone who's been watching table tennis in the last 5 years has seen Anton Kallberg and knows he's incredibly capable of beating anybody.
Cast a spell there, didn't he?
6-4.
Sure did. A spring of energy from a mountainous man. I say that because his last name means mountain spring. Or spring of the mountain. Timing tested, footwork fast. Timo's still got the quickness in his step, but just missing the contact on the last one is Anton Kallberg. Keep your eyes on him. One wide to the forehand here. And then slower spin, and again shallow on the table so it doesn't come comfortably out to Timo.
He's getting him out to that wide forehand very well, isn't he, Anton? You wonder what Timo might try and change with the receive, because the in and out footwork's been tested.
Nice catch. The forehand strong here from Timo. It's impressive when a player catches a ball like that but can't get the racket in front of it. Fluid as can be.
I think it went into his armpit, actually.
That's even more impressive. Not so many players catch balls with their armpits.
9-5.
Think fast. Armpit. 9 serving 5 here. Anton Kallberg with 2 serves to come. A chance to take this game after he was down. What, 3-4 at the timeout?
10,
and a parallel to set it
5.
up. He's got 5 game points Remember, in a best of 5, things can turn quickly.
Six, 10.
Quality push here. Timo able to mix it up as he does. Just took a sigh there a moment to make sure he had clear intention. And a kicker.
10.
The reverse pendulum serve. He's able to generate so much spin. And on his serve, to keep it that deceptive is really crazy.
I think it was a Japanese player, Seiya Kishikawa, said he's got some of the most deceptive serves, Timo Boll. Very simple motion.
11.
But shut down here in the receive game. It's Kjellberg with the touch shot, who moves on through and keeps his hopes alive. Tight start in game number 3. He was down 0-2. Look at that touch, half long, and gets to shut down that opening attack, the third ball for Timo Boll. So, alive and kicking, thriving, the Spring Mountain man, Anton Kallberg, 11-7 in game number 3. It's a 2-1 battle now. Timo Magic Boll in the lead. But a young mother, number 210 in the world currently, Britt Ehrland, we know is much stronger than that, has taken out number 13 in the world, Yang Xiaoxin of Monaco. This is incredible. A big welcome back for the young mother, Britt Ehrland. I know you've got your daughter with you. So, a lot to play for here. Britt, strong. She's been playing since 2014 at the World Championships, as tight as can be with some of the best in the world.
I can't say I've seen her excelling like this at a WTT event, perhaps due to her maternity, but I mean, fantastic achievement there for the Dutch player.
Sometimes taking a little break makes you miss it. You come back with this newfound appreciation for the game that you've loved your whole life.
It's true, and it's almost like when you come back, you've taken a bit of that pressure off yourself as well. I see that with quite a lot of players.
The Pomodoro technique, sometimes you got to get up, stop working, take a break. If you want to be productive, you want to be successful, you got to oil the joints from time to time. All work and no play makes Britt.
4th game, Hubert to serve, level.
Need a break and then come back to beat world number 13 on the biggest stage. Back for game 4, Anton Kallberg to serve.
1.
And serve he does successfully for the first point.
And all of a sudden, this match has a very different feel to it. Played with each other for 8 years in the Bundesliga for Dusseldorf. The 2 longest serving players for the club.
It's impressive for a guy as young as he is, 26 years old. Wouldn't think it to look at the man. He's right out of the Shawshank script. Either way, 3 for 3 in game number 4. And a 4th in a row. Ball carries just past the table. If you're newer to table tennis, if the ball passes the table, by the way, 12 of the last 16 points for Kjellberg. It's going to say if the ball misses the table but hits you, it's already missed the table.
5 love.
We saw a 5 love start earlier today with Ellie Samara, and it didn't work out in her favor, but this is a different match with 2 different players.
Net. 5 love.
Inside the table. I mentioned this about Ma Long and Timo Boll, that they're able to almost remove the back edge of the table. Where the edge of the table is for others, as he got the top of the net there to help him out, quickly raising his Oura Ring hand. It's going to say that he's so good at playing the ball just inside the baseline. It puts that extra pressure on the opponent to be so deliberate in their touch play.
2, 5.
For example, you can imagine after that last point, Kjellberg would want to play the ball just behind the net, something that's not so close to the baseline, allowing Timo no opening. But the net got in the way, it stood tall. Quality defense in the lobbing rally. Keeps him coming down baseline. The counter. Trying to move his way back in the backhands and near the ground. It hits him in the knee. TIMO finds the end of Anton Kallberg in this marathon rally.
Brilliant stuff. You don't think of Anton Kallberg as one of the Swedish players who has the same kind of feeling as, say, a Charles Morgard or a young person, but obviously he's got it in the bag when he needs to bring it out. But TIMO doing very well there against a very diverse array of balls that had very different trajectories and heights. That one could have been nasty, couldn't it?
I was watching him to make sure he was okay. I mean, the muscle's clearly physically fit and well protected, but everyone can slip or have something. I don't know if the ball caught something on its way down a net to slow down and not make it all the way out. That ball otherwise would have been up probably between hip and chest height, but it came in near the ground and got him in the leg. Still a 3-point lead for Anton Kallberg.
4-6.
Top edge of the racket. No timeout called just yet. We saw the facial expression, the wince from Jorgen Persson on the bench, just the same as Anton Kallberg.
So he's won 2 points here against both of Anton Kallberg's serves, and now he's got 2 of his own, TIMO.
Five, 6.
No timeout. Interesting. 5-0 up. I'm not superstitious, so I'm okay to acknowledge that Ellie Samara was up 5-0 and it didn't work out for her.
6-0.
Quite a streak here. Just a few points ago, we had a marathon point. A little bit of the top of the net to start it off as TIMO immediately got the advantage and kept Kallberg behind the table. These lobs. Ready for the counter, inside out forehand. Okay, mostly topspin. Oh, it sounded like it caught the edge of the racket when he hit it. Tough to know sometimes, but the ball clearly didn't come as deep as it looked like it would have.
7.
A much needed point after a long streak. I'm sure we'll get a stat on screen relatively soon, but TIMO's taken the majority of the last recent points.
Yeah, a bit of respite there for the Swede.
6-8.
Had a bit of topspin on that one, short to forehand.
It's amazing that the pros can do that they can serve shorter and still keep topspin on it, which makes the ball naturally go longer. It seems like it'd be impossible.
6-9.
I remember quite clearly the first time someone who played for the U.S. national team showed me how to do that, and it was just mind-blowing. There is so much to learn about table tennis. You can play it from 4 years old, even 2 years old, and play it for the rest of your life and never stop learning.
9.
TIMO with some good pressure here. You could feel Anton moving back into the table, looking to create that opening to the wide forehand where he had. Put some more pressure on.
Yeah, the intention was good there. But TIMO playing with, again, so much spin as he always does.
2 big serves to come, Anton Kallberg. And the heavy push. Heavy underspin. Boar, as he's known in China. TIMO BOLL, one of the most popular non-Chinese players throughout China. They respect somebody who's been regarded as one of the greatest threats to China for 2 decades. Well, look at this. 0-5 TIMO BOLL. Then a massive comeback. A 2-point lead for Anton Kallberg. You can understand the flip of the racket there, the spin. No way. No way.
That was cold.
Cold as ice. MOP out here. Anton Kallberg. Man, straight from the hip.
Gunslinger.
Spurs on the back of the shoes. Love it. Welcome to my coffee saloon. 9 points apiece. TIMO's got the serves now. And boy, does he have the serves. What an unusual way to ace somebody. It looked like barely any rotation, simply an awkward bounce on what was placed like a bottle challenge serve. And now it is match point for the Magic Man. The comeback king has not completed the job yet. But he earns the name, TIMO Magic Bowl, the comeback king. Gets a little off the top of the net and looks at Anton Kallberg as if to say, I'm really sorry, man. Today this was simply imbalanced. Too much fortune, but it's quality nonetheless, no doubt about it. That's a funny handshake. Did you see that? Caught him right at the wrist. And I don't know exactly what the interaction was there with JP. Jorgen Persson shared a lot of years with TIMO on the table.